is it possible to invest $110 into any kind of investments to eventually be able to move out? Okay, if you want $110 to get you to move out your crib, go to the casino and put $110 on red 5 and then pray. If not, stop depending on, bro, investing does not make you rich. You need some form of income. And then you leverage your income. And for investing to make you rich, you're gonna have to have eventually some access to capital or to build your capital, which is a lot of effort. It's not impossible, but it takes effort. And if anybody is telling you different, they're probably preying on you to have hope. But in reality, you need to put the odds into your favor. That's the type of person I am when it comes to being successful. Like, I want the odds to be in my favor as much as they can be. They're not going to be like predominantly in your favor. There's risk involved in everything. But you want the odds to be in your favor so you can have it be, so you're not guessing if you're going to be good, right? You only get rich from investing from day trading, which still takes time and skill. And skill. I have finance bros, personal friends of mine. It takes skill. Like, there's no way around that. Yeah, I'm not a financial advisor. I just have a financial advisor, and I've taught myself a lot about financial literacy through reading a lot of books, and just my mentors. A lot of my mentors, and now including me, thank you, are very good with money. So I believe I have an experience to talk about these type of things. You know what I'm saying? And the main mistake people make is they're like, yo, I want to be financially free. Okay, learn how money works, learn how investing works, learn how all these systems and these structure works, but you're still going to need to bring bread in. There's no way around that. You're going to have to bring more chicken. Because on Discord, DM me on Twitter, on Instagram, your Discord name, and I'll add you. I got like hundreds of requests. I probably won't even be able to find it. My brother bought a house out in Call from day trading. Yeah, that stuff is possible. But okay, that again, there's your brother. We can get 10,000 people that day trade. How many of those 10,000? Matter of fact, let's take 100. How many of those 100 you think profited today? It ain't easy. It ain't simple. I think that you hear about it, you go and try it, and it's like, it seems simple and direct, and I'm about to just make it. I think 10%. I would guess like 20, 25. Y'all got lower expectations than me, damn. That's the first thing I found out when I was learning about all that finance shit. I'm like, damn, even this ain't it. Like, even this ain't gonna make me make it out the hood. Like, there's no way around finding a way to get income. Your career, then you leverage side incomes, right? But at the end of the day, if you bring it home, if you jump from, let's say, making 40K a year to 60K or 70K or 80K, like now you can start having compound growth with your good decision making. Plan on getting a crib by day trading? Crib is a liability. Living in a house you own is a liability. That's why I rent everything I do. And the only way, I'm about to get into more real estate stuff, but my real estate has to be an asset. Like, I don't think I'm going to ever live in a crib I personally own. And we taught to think backwards. Like, you get money, you gotta buy a house. Nah, nigga like me move around a lot, get bored. Like, I be getting bored of places. Like, I'll be wanting to, not even leaving state to state necessarily, even though I have moved a lot, but you be wanting, yeah, exactly. It's a rule of the matrix. You gotta buy a house, you gotta get a wife, you gotta have kids, you gotta, hold on. Break out the matrix for a second, and let me do what I need to do. It's just because 40K in my country is 600K. Damn. You know what's so funny? Take, for example, we talked about high yield savings account, right? And when we took an average growth of like the S&P 500, and it was like 7%. 7% On $100 is $7. 7% on $1,000 is 70. 7% on $10,000 is 700. And so on. 100,000, now you're talking 7,000. So if you had 100 grand in stocks, 7% might not seem a lot. And honestly, that's how wealthy people think. If y'all read some of the finance books I recommended y'all, this was in one of those books. We're talking about like wealthy people think percentages. We think money, like I want to be a millionaire. I want this and that, right? And when you look at these big ass amounts of deals, like do y'all know why Elon Musk is a trillionaire? Do y'all know why he's a trillionaire? Because he owns a percentage of these companies. It's percentages. I want to start day trading, but I don't know how to start. I think you can, at least when my friends were starting, some of them that didn't have access to capital, you can do like these fake accounts where you're like managing fake money. And if you show a profit consistently over certain periods, I've never done it myself, but they like try to explain this shit to me. You have a funded account and then you show profit, you have to meet a certain number, a quota. And if you do that, you could eventually get picked up by a company or offered a job from that. Who's guaranteeing that you're gonna get money from that? Like, I can't remember. Because I had a friend who actually graduated college for finance and stuff like that. He was explaining this. But I never understood, like, I'm like, okay, so who's giving you the money after that? Is it like an entity, like a hedge fund or something like that? Like, yeah, I think a funded account, one of those like funded accounts, the firm. So going back to the job, like the job he actually works for. They said funded isn't the smartest thing to do as a beginner. That's how I know my friends that started. But their degree in college was complementing that. Yeah, then you found a broker. All right, see, okay, yeah. I'm glad, bro. I got so many friends that are into this shit. I got a friend that works for, I want to say Vanguard right now or BlackRock, one of those two major companies. He graduated from NYU. Super intelligent dude, like super intelligent. You check Insta? I do it after stream. A funded account will make you go broke too from the fees if you aren't ready. Hey, if you're profiting, it take care of it, right? Hey, if you're making money from it take care of it, right? Jory Beer Garden in Philly. Oh no, I've never been there. When I was growing up and living in Philly, any parties and shit I went to was associated with me being in high school. After my senior year, I really stopped going out a lot. I was only playing sports and going to work. And then when I went to college, I was at my university and I was focused on that. And yeah, I went to parties out there, but like when I was grown and I had grown folk money, I wasn't clubbing. And I ain't started doing none of that shit until I went to Atlanta. I ain't gonna lie, chat. Like, so I don't know no clubs in Philly. All I hear my homies be going to Sips. I know a couple clubs. In Philly, but have I been to any of them? Nope. Because the way I live my life, I ain't really start getting into stuff like that until I moved. Whenever I go back to the city, I'm gonna definitely go to one though. Or a couple, actually. I don't know how I moved in college. Wait, let me see, because the chat just moved out my screen. One thing I didn't like about how I moved in college, I did not network properly. Man, it ain't over after that. But, bro, I ain't gonna speak to the people that it's too late for. I'm gonna speak to the people that's in these positions. Are you in high school or college? Or you're about to go to college or you didn't graduate high school yet. Bro, take advantage of you're literally, every day is damn near Thanksgiving. And like that person said in the chat, they didn't network properly, but they do at least recognize that these opportunities were abundant. They're just abundant. There's so many clubs and hey, it wasn't my personal path or choice. You got fraternities, sororities, you got clubs. What else am I thinking of? Am I missing? It's hella shit to get involved with college. There'll be events on campus. You know, you decide what level of commitment you want to get involved in, but One thing about it, bro, you network properly. Oh, another thing. I remember there'd be job fairs. Is this normal, chat? For anybody in here that went to college, even when in high school, I used to go to stuff like this. Like there would be college fairs, and there would be booths where a bunch of the universities would bring representatives to. And then when I was in college, there was a job fair. Like there's all these companies, there all these booths and the files and the lines. You would go up to them, and you see, I was in the honors college. So let me tell you something. The honors college was like having a second major, and one thing about it, bro, they equipped us to be demons. Like they had us taking class like advanced public speaking, communication 101. Like it was like a complementary communication. It was like having like my major was biology and I was focused on pre-med, but because I was in an honors college, they was having us do shit like knowing how to fill. We didn't even have a resume. We had a CV, a curricula vitae or something like that. And we would update this shit every damn near every week. Like this was homework. Update your resume. Get this many hours of community service. Get involved in this. They literally forced us and grounded it in our heads to be separate and compatible applicants. So when the job fairs came down and I saw people going in pajamas and regular fitting clothes. Guess what? They ingrained it in us. Show up in your best fit, groom yourself, have 10 copies of your CV, which is like just another version of a resume. Like this shit is the bare minimum. You show up ready, you show up looking good, you show up prepared, and you represent yourself. You look people in the eye, you speak a certain way. We took leadership classes and everything. Like, that Norway flag behind me, I can't see it because the bottom of his face. I can tell that's red, right? Like it's his, and then it's red. That comes from one of the honors colleges that was on Nobel Peace Prizes, and we had to pick Nobel Peace Prize winner and do a presentation on them in front of a huge group of people. All types. This is shit that just was normal to me. It was just ingrained in us. How you remember your summers? A lot of my summers, I worked. I remember my summers. Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you. I never had a joy. No, I always, damn, that's something crazy. You make me think about it. All right, Chad, this can't be just me, bro. Like I always been doing something each summer. And it didn't dawn on me until you asked me that. I'm like, how do I remember my summers? I ain't gonna lie, I always been doing something. To the point where it's like I almost don't even have a summer. Yeah, I ain't gonna feel bad for myself, but it's like, I ain't gonna lie. Like I couldn't wait for summer because I would just work more. No lie. The most I worked was the summer of 2021 when I was blowing up on YouTube. And then the summer of 2019 when I was going to college because I knew I didn't want to have a job in college. So I worked, listen, oh my God. I remember I used to get, I remember I was getting like 50 something hours a week, chat, in work. 55, I think. 55. I was getting anywhere from I was working more than the full-time staff. Do y'all understand? Do y'all understand, bro? Like I was really trying to put belt to ass in that joint, man. Literally, this was the summer I graduated my senior year. This was my senior summer going into my freshman year of college. Like I knew I wasn't gonna be working, so I said, I'm busting my ass. Like, feel me? I had to work construction with my family all school breaks since I was 13. Gave me a great work ethic though. That's what I'm saying. When you said, how do you remember your summers? All I do is work. Like I never really expected summer to be a vacation.